Hi, I'm Jerry Miller. I am an avid fly fisherman, have been for several years now since I retired. I like fly fishing a lot more than regular what we call bait fishing or whatever, just because it's different, it's more interesting. I've been told that God never put a fly fishing trout stream in an ugly place, and 80 to 90% of all the food that trout eat are bugs, the science of entomology. Okay, I do tie my own flies. I find it an interesting hobby. There's a lot of different flies, replicating different kinds of bugs, which is the science of entomology. A lot of people tie their flies because they think they can save money or whatever, and nowadays they probably can. The flies used to be like 99 cents a piece or whatever, and now the flies in the catalog books or whatever are anywhere from $2.50 to $3. So the materials have gone up and all, but it's still an interesting hobby to get down there. And it's also exciting when you can tie a fly, especially one that you thought up and not a copy of someone else's fly, take it to the river, stream, and catch a fish with it. My favorite place to fish is in southern Idaho on this little creek. I like it because it's solitary. In fact, it's only a one-man fishing stream. It's tight, but it's quiet. You feel alone by yourself. The fish are actively biting your fly, and I have a great time. I enjoy the solitude of fly fishing. Before I head out on a fishing trip, it's either because someone has told me of a great spot or whatever that they enjoy, or I also use a map and sit down there and I look at all the blue lines on a map, see where they are, if they're accessible by road or if you have to hike into them, and that determines kind of where I'm going to go. And another thing is the safety. It depends on the time of year. At different times of year, you've got high water, low water, and you check the weather. You see what type of weather it is. A lot of fly fishermen determine when they go depending upon the phase of the moon. And so you plan. I have a checklist that I go through and make sure that I've got everything necessary, first of all, for my safety, my comfort, make sure everything's there. It's difficult to get up in the mountains on a stream and find out, like several people that I've fished with, forgot something. It ruins your day. Another great exciting thing about fly fishing for me is that my grandkids are finally old enough that I can take them fly fishing now. So they've been over to my house, we've tied a bunch of flies. We make it an annual trip for my older grandsons to go on the river. It's a great time. I enjoy teaching them, and it's exciting seeing them catch fish, especially on flies that they have tied themselves. My favorite type of fishing, of course, is the fly fishing, and there's two types of fly fishing basically. There's what we call still water fishing, and then the rivers or streams and fishing like that. There's a reason why one does both. First of all, the older you get, the harder it is to wade up the streams and the rivers. Still water is easier for us older folks or whatever. But another reason is, in the springtime when you have the runoff, which is a good part of the spring, you can't get to the rivers and the streams because of the runoff. The water is too high, it's off-colored, and the fishing isn't that great. But during that time, you can get on the still waters, which doesn't have a problem with the weather, and fish all that you want. Also, there are bigger fish in the still water. So in the lakes and reservoirs, if you want to catch the bigger fish, the 20-plus inch fish, the still water is the place to go. If you want to catch more fish and you've got the beauty, you've got the exercise, you've got the stillness and the beauty of the serenity around you, I like to go on the river. As long as I can, I'll be walking the rivers.